class. So today I'll be going over lesson 3.1, which is equations dealing with I. So what that is say you have a square root with a negative in it. Most calculators will give you an error symbol or something like that, but we use the letter I to help us solve those equations. So this is like an example. These are examples of problems that you would have with the I that would use the I. Alright, so here's how you solve those examples. So for negative 49, it would be 49 times negative 1, which negative 1 would turn into I under the square root, and the square root of 49 is 7, so that would be 7I. Negative 144 in the square root would be 144 times negative 1, which is still negative 144, in the square root, which will turn into, the negative 1 will turn into the I, and the square root of 144 is 12, so that would turn into 12I. And then negative 116, it would be 16 times negative 1, which is I under the bracket, which 16 squared is 4, which is 4I. So the I indicates that the number was in a square root, which was a negative in the square root. Alright, and here are some more examples of numbers that are not square roots. So this might give you some trouble, but what you do is you find a number that can be squared and that can be multiplied by another number to get your number here. So in this case, 48, 16 times 3 times negative 1 is negative 48. And so the square root of 16 is 4, which would go on outside of your bracket, but you still have to square the negative 3, so that stays in the bracket and the I is on the end, showing that it was a negative. 14 in this case has nothing that can be multiplied by, so the I will come out of the negative, will turn into the I, and the square root of 14I is that. And in this case, negative 63 is 7 times 9 times negative 1, which the square root of 9 is 3. And the 7 stays in the square root because it's not divisible by anything, and the I goes out. So now on to multiplying the I. So I squared is equal to negative 1. So in this case, negative 9 times the square root of negative 9 and the square root of negative 16, which the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 16 is 4, and then you have your i's for the negatives. 3 times 4 is 12, and then I squared is equal to negative 1, so that would equal negative 12. In this case, negative 49 times negative 121, negative 49I would be 7I. And 121 times I square root is 11I. So 7 times 11 is 77I squared, which I squared equals negative 1, so that makes it 77 times negative 1 is negative 77. Alright, thank you very much.